Let's talk about unemployment, lack of job. So tell me if you are facing this problem in your country or not.
Yes, that is our problem in our country.
Yeah,
Mm, yeah, there are because many companies
of course.
uh, stop working.
Ah,
Yeah, they worked ineffectively and they closed their companies.
ah,
So there are a lot of workers um, mm, is finding another jobs, and some of them um, have to leave the city to the countryside
yeah,
uh,
of course.
to live. Yeah, because the um, expenses in the city is very high, and here they have no job. Is there no money for their children? Everything is everything's difficult now.
Of course, of course. Well, got it. It's like you said that many actually like companies or business just stopped working or actually they have halted their activities. So what's for it? Like, what there are there any special reason for that?
Mhm. Maybe um, they cannot sell their products. The price is competitive,
Ah,
um, and we are have a neighbor. My our neighbors in China, and their Chinese products are so cheap,
ah,
and they can sell directly to Vietnam directly. And some companies, Vietnamese company, uh, cannot uh, compete with the Chinese
nice.
products. Yeah,
Of
uh, I think it's a small problem, but I heard that on the television. That's a big problem with Vietnam.
Yeah, of course. So it's like, as I realized, due to high manufacturing costs. So if you want to, yeah, manufacture your own products, of course, we can say that due to this high cost, it's not worth maybe pursuing this. So it's better to buy from other countries like China because they are more reasonable than actually the price when you own, actually you yourself produce or manufacture something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so tell me, in the future, so let's talk about future. Do you think in future it will be maybe, I don't know, it will still remain problem, or do you think governments will find, I don't know, some solutions to tackle with this issue?
Yes, I think the government should have uh, a solution for these issues.
Uh,
If they don't want to, um, if they don't want uh, to to be lost the local uh, products,
yeah,
many local companies that close, that yeah close, and they should have the urgent solution for this problem. Mm.
of
And
course.
the the Chinese products have the reasonable price and they can delivery have a they have the shorter time delivery
Of course.
of the
Yeah.
they
So,
they 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 did well. They do the business very well.
of course. So actually the first problem is that many businesses, as you said, have halted their activities due to some reason. The first one, actually, they're not able to compete and market with some actually countries like China. Of course, we know that large number of products and cheap. Of course, when it comes to quality, I'm not sure about it because, I don't know. It's like they're not really reliable and long-lasting products. So we know that Chinese products are not really, I don't know, like high quality products. But of course, when it comes to price, so people prefer to buy reasonable and something like inexpensive product. Well, okay, so as you can guess, we're going to talk about unemployment and the first word. Okay. Well, so figure, the first word of this unit, that is figure. So you notice when we say number symbol of figure, so digits, so all of them. And as you can see, number and amount of something, it can be seen in the figures that the unemployment rate in Vietnam is quite low. So as you can see, let me check it. So you know that you will learn when studying for IELTS, you will need to write essays about this diagram. So this is a bar chart. Well, and as you can see, 7.44, like 44, and in 2010, so the higher, and 2012 with 5.16, so it's gonna be the list, and it's good. Well, and labor market or job market? Labor or job market? Just let me say something about spelling words. That is actually something like a rule. British use you a lot. We don't. So I can say there are lots of words that actually are spelled like this, OU in British English, but American English is easier. So this is labor, the way that we write labor. So for example, favorite, for example, color, for example, labor. So there are lots of words that actually are different spelling. In American and British, American is a bit easier. So I want to say that if you write this way, that is definitely correct. So no worries. Well, and could you read this part, please, and tell me your opinion? One of the biggest
challenges that the labor market in Vietnam is facing is the lack of skilled workers.
How about this? Why?
Um,
Lack of skilled workers.
Maybe they have a lot of, they don't they are not trained. Yeah, maybe the in the university or the college they don't they the university and college don't teach them um, um, to be the to be a skilled worker.
Yeah,
They maybe the program in the university is far away from the uh, practice, practical,
Yeah,
not
of
practical.
course.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not correct. So they're not, so it's like, you know, when it comes to education and experience. So you mean that, yeah, most of them are educated from university and, you know, they're graduated from universities and they're actually educated. They have knowledge, but the knowledge is not practical. It's like there is no experience that is needed, especially when it comes to some specific fields. So we need experience more than maybe knowledge. It's like experience. And so you mean that, yeah, they graduate from universities, colleges, but you know, it's like, no, they are not enough to, and they can't be considered as skilled because of experience. Well, so we need trained workers, skilled trained workers, or maybe experts. That is really important, experts. Well, and unrest. So we can use it as political unrest or unrest. And unfortunately, like disagreements when people are not happy or not satisfied with situation and they express anger and dissatisfaction about something. So, and we know that especially in this particular place or, for example, situation that is lack of enough job. So there is growing unrest between the government and a group of unemployed young people. Unfortunately, yeah.
Between the government and the groups of employment and people. Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
disagreement. There is
Yeah,
the complex, this disagreement between the government and
of course. And why it
breaking.
happens,
Yeah.
dissatisfaction. So that is the cause, because people are not happy and, you know, normally they protest. So it's like, because they're expressing their anger, dissatisfaction about, I don't know, about this issue. One of,
Yeah, that's a popular. This
course,
problem is popular in many countries,
of
in
course,
many companies. Yeah.
yeah, of course. Well, and qualification, yeah. So you know this one, paper qualification. So good, not enough. So of course,
Ability
it
characteristic.
indicates, yeah, you know, that can be considered as experience that makes you suitable for a particular job or activity. And you show that. So an ability, characteristic, or experience that makes you suitable. Many people believe that paper qualifications are no longer the key factor to help you get a job. So actually, it depends. So what do you think? What do you think about this one? Qualification or experience?
Yeah. In my opinion, qualifications uh, are um, um, help us to uh, know uh, about the people. They are trained or not trained, or they train well or not well. It's important and it's necessary. But in some cases, they people they have a qualification, but they don't have a skill. They don't have a experience.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think if we actually divide them into two categories, like, you know, some jobs, like for example, being doctor, being teacher, they need, for example, they need education, they need qualifications, and without them, we can't. It's not something that I can do with just, you know, but with experience. No, I can't. I need more. But in some fields, like for example, when it comes to business, especially, so when it comes to business or other fields, so for example, leadership, or for example, I don't know, something like, for example, communication skills. So how to communicate with people and leadership. So we need experience more than qualifications. So it depends on the job. So if it's required, so no, for some jobs, and we know that it's not possible to do it by experience. Like, for example, you can't be a doctor by experience. No, it's not possible. But of course, in some fields, it's essential to be experienced. Well, okay, let's make some sentences using the words that we just learned. It's your turn.
The U.S. Election figures show that the president will be Donald Trump.
I told you. I told you. Do you remember? I knew everything. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to talk about him. Yeah, of course. Yeah, figures, of
Maybe
course.
when Donald Trump will be a new president, the the labor market will be increased.
Of course.
There are a lot of work for everyone, for the citizens.
Of course. So as you said, according to figures and statics. Or statistics. Oh, yeah, of course. Donald Trump will be president, and of course we know that after that we will have maybe a good improvement in labor market. So there will be more job positions.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, well, and unrest.
Unrest. There won't be there won't be a lot of unrest between the government and the people.
Yeah.
There are no more unrest between the government and the citizens.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. So it's like, unfortunately, for example, people protest due to political or, for example, economical unrest. So everything, social unrest, political unrest, so everything. So, yeah, of course. And they normally protest and they ask for the rights and qualifications.
We need to have experience and we have to be trained well before apply a job. But we also need paper qualifications
Of course.
to show what we are trained.
Of course, of course. Yeah, very good. And we have reading. So finally we have the text. Okay. Well, let's read. May I ask you to read it, please?
A new report says the number of young people jobs is very high in many countries. There are currently 73 million people around the world aged 15 to 24 who wanted to work but cannot find a job. The International Labour Organization said that also youth unemployment is coming down in rich countries. It is rising in the most of Asia, the Middle East, North Africa, and Brazil. The youth unemployment rate in China increased from 9.3% in 2010 to 10.6% last year. Economists say it will be 11.1% in 2016. In Brazil, the figure for youth unemployment was 14% at the beginning of this year, but is now almost 16%. The ILO warns that youth employment worldwide is set to rise.
Yeah,
Is set to rise.
it's set to rise, unfortunately. And the next.
Yeah, the ILO said it is difficult for many young people who are looking for work. It said it's still not early to be young and started out in today's labor market. It
Easy.
is a practice. It's not easy to be young. Yeah, it is particularly bad for many young women. The highest rate of youth unemployment around the world is for women in the Middle East and North Africa. This figure is around 45%. There are many reasons for the gloomy figures for youth unemployment. One major factor is the global financial collapse of 2008. Many countries have still not recovered from that. The ILO says youth employment is not just important for the country economy,
Of course.
for the country's economy. It is affect health, social unrest, and levels of people's happiness. Just
Ah,
important for the
okay. Yeah, it also affects health, social unrest, and levels of people's happiness, of course. Well, and according to statistics and figures, so we know that in some rich countries, like for example, Denmark and some other countries, so we know that the number of people, so we can say people's happiness, the level of happiness is higher than the countries that are not in a good and, for example, stable economical position. So actually it's strictly directly related to, so there is relation between these two economy and of course the level of happiness in countries. And so let's answer the question. So after it, where is youth unemployment falling?
rich country has youth employment falling.
So
Is it
let's
yeah,
check. You can see here.
yeah,
It's rising, but it's falling.
yeah, it's falling in come down in rich country.
Of
It
course,
is rising, but it's rising in the Asia, Middle East, North Africa, and Brazil.
of course. So we have fall and rise. And so it's
Yeah.
rising in some Asian countries and coming down or falling in rich countries. Wow. And the next one, okay. What was
What
the
was
level of
the
youth?
level? Yeah. Uh, the level. Mm, the levels of youth unemployment in China in 2010, uh, maybe 9.6%.
Yeah, check, of course. I see you have a good memory. I forgot. Yeah, 9.3, of course. Well, to 10.6% last year. Oh, well, and the next one, what did?
What did the ILO warn would happen to the youth unemployment? Warn. They warn. Mm, they want the youth employment is raising
Of course.
um,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, employment.
Unfortunately, yeah,
Once
it's
the employment was set to rise.
rise, of
Rise.
course. Increase or rise. Yeah, very good. And the
Increase.
next one, what happened in 2008 to create unemployment problems?
That's
To,
an economic crisis.
of course,
Financial collapse. Yeah. Financial collapse
unfortunately, all around the world, this happens especially some
around the world.
countries. Yeah, of course. And here, financial collapse of 2008.
And
Of
many countries, yeah, and many countries have still not recovered from that.
of course, unfortunately. And the next one. Next one.
What does unemployment affect people's level now? What does it mean? What does employee affect
What
people levels of?
level of what?
Level of
Yeah, level of what? Level of health, level of happiness. Yeah,
social happiness. Yeah.
yeah. So, and
Unemployment affect people's happiness
yeah. So
and
for example,
health, social
this one,
problem.
maybe prepositions at the end of questions can be a bit confusing, but that is right, sometimes we need. So for example, if I want to make an affirmative sentence, I can say that unemployment affect people's level of health and, for example, happiness. So now I want to make questions, so I need this. Or, for example, I say, who you are talking to. So, because you answer, I'm talking to my mom. So I need this preposition. Okay, so this of belongs to what? That things, that factors. Okay, and do you think that unemployment problems are not getting much better or worse?
Employment problems um, are now getting worse
Yeah, of
in
course.
Vietnam. Yeah.
Of course. Unfortunately, most of countries, though. And now, actually, I have a video. So let's watch this video together and then we'll talk about it. Just let me share it just one moment and then we will keep going with speaking. Well, Just one moment. Okay. Okay.
Recruitment season is underway in China. Job hunters are gathering at this job fair in Shanghai, hoping to get snapped up by employers. Only work opportunities appear to be limited.
Finding a job now is really tough, and job requirements are also high.
In terms of difficulty, relatively speaking, you should certainly find a job suitable for you or a job you like.
China's economy is in the midst of a prolonged slump, and its job market is shrinking. Many people here have been out of work for months. Young people like John Wang are among the hardest hit. It's been nearly a year since he graduated, but he still hasn't been able to take the first step onto the career ladder. Making matters worse, he majored in construction, an industry that's been battered by China's real estate crisis.
I always thought it would be a great accomplishment to see a building rise from the ground up. But now that I've graduated, I feel like just any other ordinary person, struggling to survive in the society.
Official data showed youth unemployment in China, for those aged between 16 and 24, stood at 14.9% in December. That's excluding students. But the figure doesn't paint an entirely clear picture. Policymakers suspended data on youth unemployment for months before that, after it hit a record high of 21.3% in June. The latest figure is calculated using a new methodology which, authorities say, is more accurate. But analysts say it's impossible to tell whether there's actually been any improvement without comparing it with like-for-like calculation. Regardless, the government is under pressure to tackle the problem.
Without very quick improvement in confidence, or put it in other words, corporate profit, it's very hard to see the employment market improving anytime soon.
Experts say youth unemployment is likely to stay elevated for this year. A record 11.79 million college students are set to graduate in the coming months, meaning an already crowded jobs market might even get worse. Roland Smit, TRT World, Beijing.
Oh, well, first of all, what do you think? What do you think about this? Oh, just let me stop sharing. And so what do you think about this? So in China, because actually it's a bit, now there is a, like, I don't know, conflict here, because we think that, okay, it should be actually really good place and they should have really good, I think, a condition, but unfortunately it's not. And I don't know why. What's the reason you think?
The populations in China, the populations of China is blooming.
Yeah, of course.
And is the one of the reason of the unemployment. And people, they have a job but they don't like it, that job.
Yeah.
They need to have, they can find a job, but the dream jobs is difficult to look for. And students just graduated from the university is difficult to look for good jobs because they don't have experience, and the most of the company need the skilled workers.
Of course, of course. Well, actually, just, there were a few words that I found, maybe new words, so it's not bad to know the meaning of them, then we'll discuss again. So on the way, the first one, when something is on the way means in progress, it's happening. So we can say means it's happening, it's in progress. So, and missed. So you heard missed. and that is middle. Missed means middle of something, yeah, of course. And prolonged is extended in duration, a duration period of time. Prolonged is extended in duration. Okay, for example, when we say prolonged delay, long delay, extended in duration. So this one missed, that is middle, and this one extended in duration. Okay, and the last one, that is long, so let me say fall. That is fall. What is that when we say prolonged, long? So if you combine them, you can say that it's a long duration period of time of fall, especially when we're talking about business. And during the middle, unfortunately, and it's in progress, so we know that. And the next one, methodology, this is, so you know, when it's like, you know, collecting data, study, research, and collecting data is methodology. So that is actually the meaning of this data collection method.
Data
methodology, of course. Well, so it's like, I think the problem is with population, overpopulation in China, because we know that, you know, actually, even maybe the reason that why they are building lots of skyscrapers, high-rise building, is that there is no place on the ground, so they need to live in the sky. So it's like, and unfortunately, despite having market in the world, so we know that, so Chinese product, the whole world maybe are using Chinese products. Of course, as I told you, we don't agree with using because we are not really satisfied with the quality of product. But you know that especially some brands, famous brands, so, but still having problem. So that's, I think, why they can't control their population. Actually, this is the question. And I normally ask myself that how they can't control this population. Well, maybe they have rule to, I don't know, maybe they are not allowed to have more than 2 children. I'm not sure about it. I heard something, but I'm not sure about it actually. Well, okay, so how about this one? Let me ask you another question. You know that after actually graduating from high school, so students go to university, college to study, and but you know, some people believe that having a year gap between high school and university can be really useful. Why? For different reasons. Actually, students can get ready to start a new level, a new stage of life. Do you agree with this or no? You think students need to go to university and start their further education as soon as they finish their high school?
Yeah, you mean that we have a gap?
Yeah, a 1 year gap. We normally have it. That's, you know, yeah, of course. And then they start their further education. But some people believe that no, they need to go immediately. They need to start it immediately after actually finishing, like, you know, ending their high school education. So what do you think about this?
Yes, I prefer to study and finish the high school before going to work. I don't like it to have a 1 year gap to high school. Because I think we after university or after high school we have a lot of time to work to this to explore something, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, and we have enough time to do that, and we have much time to do that. And we have a limited time to study. So we save most of the time when we in the when we are a student. We should learn study only.
Of course. So you think that it's better to keep studying without having gap, okay, to be more motivated. So it's like, you know, maybe this year gap, I don't know, can affect your feeling and your thought about studying. So maybe, yeah, I do agree with you. Some aspect, I do agree with you. And do you think that Vietnamese students get enough knowledge and practice at university to have no difficulty starting to work for a company?
No, I don't think that, and especially in Vietnam, the students don't get enough knowledge and practice after they graduating from university, because the programs are not practical. We have to we have to experience some years to work to get experience.
Of course, of course. So it's like, you know, yeah, it's really normal that in most of university they normally focus on theories. Like, you know, of course they read books, but life and real situation is something beyond books. It's like, you know, we know, okay, it's totally different. So, and they have no experience, so having practice is really important. So I do agree with you that, you know, it's really important to teach them how to deal with, and for example, how to tackle with issues and how to use their knowledge when actually they are in a real situation. But unfortunately, most of students don't know. And what is the worst thing about being unemployed?
Yeah, the worst thing about being employed is become a burden to family and society.
Of course.
Leads to crimes.
Yeah, of course.
And another thing is lose confidence in themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Causes stress and depression. Yes.
Of course. Become a burden to family and society and lead to crime. So I do agree with this one, especially. So when have no choice, so yeah, of course they need to commit crimes, unfortunately, because they're responsible. Well, okay. And what qualities do employers often look for young candidates?
What quality do the employer often look for? I used to be employer, and I looked for the positive attitude.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Teamwork.
Yeah. Communication skills.
Of course.
In a young candidate. Candidates,
of course, of course. Yeah. Yeah, of course. And collaborating skills, language skills, communication skills. So of course, different positive attitudes, maybe flexibility. So different factors, of course, especially. Yeah, and you know that. So this one, teamwork and collaborating skills. So you know that actually they're somehow the same. So again, working well. When we say collaborating means working well with others. So like teamwork. So, well, and now we need to look for some solutions to youth unemployment. So offer career guidance.
Solution to the youth employment, the school should focus more on practice. We need to help students discover themselves and choose the suitable career path.
Of course. That is really important. Unfortunately, actually, it's really good nowadays. Teachers and we can say school principals and of course parents, they focus more on actually their children's talents, abilities, skills since childhood. That is really good. So it's like, they know, for example, oh, my kid, my child is really good at art, so maybe she or he can. So that is really good, and they can get good guidance. They can follow what they want. But when you have no idea about who you are, what you want to do, so it's like in the past, I remember that, so like most of parents used to force their children to, for example, study something that maybe they didn't like. Because unfortunately, I have the same. Now I have some students. For example, parents force them to do something that they don't like, really don't like, but they have to. And I know that when you are not interested in what you do, you will be frustrated the middle of the way. You won't continue. Whenever and once you feel like you can, now I can be independent, so let's do this one. And now I don't need, so I stop. So, but this one, I think really good when you discover, when you focus on their ability, their talents, and the most important, their interest. So for example, let me ask you about your family, about your kids. So now your daughter is studying abroad. So tell me, before starting, did you talk to her about, I don't know, to get her opinion about studying abroad, or for example, or you liked her to do that? You talked, I know.
Listen to and think about the guidance, career guidance.
Of course.
Yeah. And I don't listen to your questions if you
It's okay. I
ask
asked
me.
you about, when you sent your daughter abroad to study.
Yeah.
So of course you talked. I want to know about actually, the time that you talked to her about her interest and what she want to study, and if she likes to immigrate to study. So could you please talk about it?
Yes, we talked about her skill, her intelligence, and yeah. But we encouraged her to study biology, in the university. But now she said that she's tried to study biology and she doesn't like anymore. She will apply the university for biology.
Biology.
But but when she when she enter to the university, she will ask the principal to let her change to another field.
Of course. So because it was not her favorite major to study. So you see this way.
She said that she doesn't want to stay at the same in the she want to she had dynamic. She
Ah,
entered
very good.
and she said that she biology will make her state in a laboratory.
Yeah, library.
Yeah.
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 Actually,
She
that's
can,
really good.
yeah, she want to go to many places.
Yeah, that's really good. They know what they want, and that's really good. So,
Yeah.
for example, maybe uh, years ago in the past, uh, I can say students couldn't do this. Just they kept studying something that they didn't like, and they, for example, graduated. But now that's really perfect. So your daughter has clear mind, so she knows what she wants, and it's perfect. How about your son? So do you have about any idea about what he want to do in the future?
Both of them are like a business.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just encourage them because that's really good.
Maybe daughter is suitable to study finance or
Oh, very
business.
good.
Yeah, and yeah, I think this my son is also like a business then to be a engineer.
Oh, that's
But
really
they,
good.
but all of them, both are study biology now. Both.
Ah, both, but they will change.
Yeah, they
Why
will
now?
change. They
So
said that
why?
they will change.
Why? Yeah, of course. Why they're studying biology? That's really good, actually. Economy or, for example, business, that's perfect. I think so. I'm a big fan. So I say nothing about it. I think really good. As soon as possible, just keep going. Business and economy. That's really good. Of course, biology is perfect, but it's important what they want and what they look for in future. And I think this is a key secret, of success.
Yeah,
That's really good.
he,
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, and yeah, this one. To what extent do you agree that gaining work experience is more important? This one is really important. So, and I want you to think about it because there are different aspects. So this is uh, speaking part 3 of IELTS. So to what extent do you agree that gaining experience is more important than focusing academic knowledge at school? So that's really important. So I want you to think about it. So if you can record your voice, if no, you can do. I would prefer to hear that when you talk.
mhm.
So that's really
Yeah.
good. If you can, if you have time, of course, that will be great. And the next one that I want to ask you now, do you think that unemployment is the root cause of many social issues?
Yes, I think so. Unemployment is the root cause of many social issues. In a family, in a small family,
Yes.
unemployment is also the root cause some many problems in a family.
Of
So
course.
it's then to the country, it's then to the society.
Society,
It's
of
also
course.
the root. It's
Yeah,
all the root cause of many social issues. And a finance problem is the root cause the some many problems of a family in a
yeah,
family.
of course. It's caused some financial issues. It's like a tree that actually it has roots, and the base is employment, and after that we have the tree and branches. So it's like, yeah, of course, first we have some financial issues due to unemployment. Then these financial issues cause some big and more important significant problems in families. Then families go to society, and of course everything. So all of them are related. So I do agree with you. Well, okay, so let's skip this topic. And do you have any questions related to this topic?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great, wonderful day and see you at the next session.
Yeah. Bye. See you on Thursday. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.